Truth Serum Nation. It's your host, Joe, and I hope you folks are enjoying a real great summer. I was at the amusement park yesterday. Look at this. Back to you, Irv. All right, enough of that. I got a prop, so we'll put it to use down the road. First and foremost, thank you for joining the Truth Serum. I'm a storyteller, talk show host. I was around the wise guys years ago. Didn't want to be made. Let's get that established, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Didn't want to be made. So I want to just try to give you, go get a coffee, a soda, something. Sit down with the Truth Serum, hang out. I appreciate the support I've been getting thus far. Okay? Whew, boy, I did that. I'll still do the nature walks in the morning near the lake, so just bear with me. But I walked around that park yesterday, Six Flags. I must have walked 5 miles, so I'm set in that department. So come on and join the Truth Serum. We have some fun over here. And try to give you the evolution of the first interactions. Now, I should establish I was born in Brooklyn. My father was best friends with my godfather, Mickey, that was an enforcer for the Colombos as well as other families, but primarily the Colombo family. And we'll get right up to, I'm educated, I'm book smart. I thought I was street smart, and thought I knew everything about everything, and not my initiation to Mafia University, a little freshman. I'm a little freshman running around thinking I know this or that and everything else. But this will be part one, getting into the club and everything. And then part two will be like my first mix going to New York City, which leads to Mike Franzese and that kind of stuff. So I'll just set the table for how I got in the mix and then how it evolves to delivering the milk and bread, and then eventually meet Mike Franzese and stuff like that, as well as other guys. He's not even the most. There was other guys I liked meeting. Well, so I would go to the racetrack all the time. Now I'm 60 years old. I gotta establish this. Forgive me for smoking. I'm 60 years old. I look back. I had a brain injury. You try to piece things together, whether I care to or not, but I do the show, and sometimes it's a puzzle, and it's like, well, maybe this was because of this, and maybe that was because of this, and well, no, then I might be wrong about, so it's mental hopscotch trying to say, well, these characters, what was this motivation? What is the real story behind what some of these guys did? It'll make you nuts. So, but you look back, and so I'm saying that because it was like how I got recruited. I was all right. I was at the racetrack, horse racing and stuff, and there was a guy, a gambler, and from a prominent political family in Western New York, but he was a gambler, and I saw him there, and he said, Jojo, I want you to meet a guy about this and that. It was Mike S. And he had a steel brokerage office, and he was also part of a gambling ring. I didn't know at the time. I was in I was in a business school. I was college educated. I did very well, Deansless. And I said, oh, that's cool. I could try to sell steel. Fine with me. Earn a commission plus a weekly salary. So I meet Mike S. And everything went off well, and then I go up to the office in a nice business complex, and I start to get settled in, and the sales are tough. Cold calling for sales back then. That's when the steel market, the Chinese steel was coming in, the Russian steel was coming in, and you couldn't compete anymore. So I would get my little salary, but there was no commissions. It was just futile calling people. No, 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 and that just so he had, and I was kind of talking. I was getting frustrated. So Mike S, my boss, says, "Well, if you want to make a couple dollars, you could run a package up to the falls and try to make a couple extra dollars. Fine with me." So I did that. My first time I went up there, and I'm just a greenhorn. And um, now this is 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago. But I remember um, Mike had told me, go to the back, go to the back entrance of oh, it was a club. It was called Sam's Club. It was a restaurant and bar, and uh, part of a gambling ring. And Sam was the old man in his 70s. So this was going to be my first meeting. So I'm I'm in the back, and a couple guys go in. They're looking. Who are you? What are you doing here? Whatever. I'm looking for Sam. I'm looking for Sam. And then one of the girl, the bartender, which is related to Sam, she come around and she said, "Don't." She said, "Go around and come through the front. Whatever. Blah 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 blah." So I get in there, and he immediately uh, calls me back, and these guys are giving me the once over, and I says, "Well, you know, here's the package. Here's the package. Let me get out of here." And me, not even waiting for a tip or anything, but I just was like, okay, boom. I want to get back and try to sell some steel, which I probably can't anyways. And so I get in there, and he says, "No, come back, come in here and sit down and everything." And I says, "Well, Mike would be mad. I'm supposed to be trying to sell steel back in Buffalo." He's like, "No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." So we start talking. Now, in retrospect, I don't know if he already knew who my godfather was, or who my father was, in which my father didn't rank as anything in any field. God forgive me. He didn't rank with everything. He's not in the picture, more or less. But my godfather um, was my godfather. So I don't know, like, if I was set up to be met up at the track, and then get recruited in and make it look like I was going to try to sell steel, and then all of a sudden run these errands. I don't know, after all these years. So um, I'm talking to the old man, and he's asking me questions of my father's name, my grandfather's name, certain things, and he's like picking my mind, like forensically trying to then he mentions, "You got a clean driver's license?" Yes, I got a clean driver's license, and um things like that. And I said, my godfather, and what who my godfather was, blah blah blah. Just try to because I knew what my godfather did even before I got into this position, and it felt like a little more security blanket. That, well, by the way, I'm a little greenhorn and everything, but that's my godfather. Just for future references, that's my godfather there. which wasn't the traditional Godfather with the gifts on the birthday and Christmas and all that. But down the road, what he did for me was priceless, you know. So, and they're talking, and he's asking me uh, if I want to make more money. How's Mike at the office treating me? Well, I'm trying to sell steel, but that's going nowhere. And he gives me a couple dollars here or there, but he was cheap. He was actually cheap. Mike S was cheap at the office, very cheap. And I'm going to retell the stories of what happened later on with that Kazuski. I do say that last name because he's a bum wherever he is. God bless him. God rest him. But we'll get into that story down the road. I'll retell that story. And so he's asking me these different questions, and I'm telling him, I'm getting gypped. So okay, well, if you want to do this, you want to do that, that's fine. And who do I know? Who's this? Now, my grandfather's hardworking guy from my mother's side in Western New York. My grandfather's hardworking guy, but his kumbas and related people, he knew guys in there, but my grandfather wasn't a gangster. He was a hard working man that helped our family out because we didn't have a lot. My father was a deadbeat. My mother left my father. He was a deadbeat, no good, but God bless him and God rest him. So, so that was kind of the setting the table for what was going to be happening later on. And I didn't want to be a gangster. I just wanted to hustle some money. And, steel brokerage. Yeah, steel brokerage, get in there. And, it ain't got nothing to do with your business degree, your marketing degree, your communication, verbal communications, industrial complex. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that. This is a different university. So, and I thought I could navigate it and to the best I could, but I made some mistakes later on. So I came back. I'm talking to Sam. He's picking my brain. Really, in retrospect, thinking like behaviorist, like he's trying to read me, asking me these questions, like in certain situations, and am I giving him the right answers? And I see where he's going, and so I already know, I'm trying to spar with him, but I know where he's going, and so I'm like, oh, I got to get back. He's like, stop it, don't worry. I'm like, well, I'm missing out. I could be making sales, which I'm not going to make a sale back at the office. I'm missing sales. And he's like, stop it already. And so I'm up there whining, and he's like, here, here, he gives me like a 50 or 100. I was like, not bad. Geez, that's half of my weekly pay, because I was getting 200 a week just to be there, answering the phone, doing faxes, trying to sell. So I was getting 200 a week. I just got half of that in freaking 5 minutes. So I was like, that's eventually what blurred my logic down the road, was the money and greed and getting off of my career, which I went to college for. It screwed me all up. So I'll try not to slurp. I appreciate the new people coming in to the Truth Serum. We have a lot of fun. I try to motivate at the end of my videos. I go on nature walks. I'm 60. I gained 40 pounds. I'm trying to reduce that weight. And I know it's not smart to smoke a cigarette during a nature walk, but I'm trying, folks. These nicotine addiction, caffeine addiction's all right. And but that's what we do here for any of the new people. I got a mock microphone. It's currently sunny, 87 degrees. Winds are calm, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 29.3 and rising. Back to you, Bill. All right, I'm a frustrated talk show host, but I'm not. I am a talk show host. So get it together. I appreciate my community in here. And we're going to get to, Mike Franzese got the channel and everything. I've said a lot on my channel about Mike Franzese, trying to figure things out. And some of the times, they're like the first time I went down there. See, I'm looking back at things decades later and then wondering who knew what? Who knew what? How did I just get thrust into this position real quick? And, I had talked to my godfather later in years when he was much older and everything, but he still was kind of reserved on things. It was just in his DNA, just, we're tight. I'm his godson, but you still, I would ask questions. We're watching TV, and he's like, "Stop it, Jojo," blah, 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 whatever. He's so programmed just not to reveal. But he did tell me a lot of stories, interesting stories. When he was close, he passed away probably within a year window of that time. But he told me a lot of interesting stories, certain hits. And when I do that nature walk in the morning, or whenever I do usually in the morning when I out near that lake, back years ago, it was more secluded and everything. And I didn't even realize that he had done some things over there until way after the fact. So, yeah. And Mike Franzese was an accountant, very smart. Yes, I've bashed him a lot on these videos and everything, soap opera, Mobtalk, and everything else. Now, I'm kind of beyond that, other than the doughboy over there, that nut, whatever. But I do my show and, try to be a Christian also. I'm not a gangster. I'm a Christian. And I'm a storyteller. I wrote a book. There's a link to it. Good book. I think I'm an all right author. The links are in the description, as well as the Cash App. Help an old guy out. I didn't walk away with a lot of money. I'm on limited income. So forgive me, folks. So yeah, Mike Franzese, as far as who you want to say, well, he cooperated, but other than cooperating, which whatever, but he was smart. There's a lot of misconceptions about the gas tax scheme and what really happened and who did this and who did that. But yes, of course, he was prominent figure in the gas tax scheme. There's so many different sidebars. You'll be nuts trying to figure it out. And I'm trying not to go crazy anymore. So, yeah, so we'll get back. We'll get my first time going to New York to deliver the milk and bread, and then eventually meeting up with Mike. And then there were some problems with these deliveries, which is easy to understand when I had a bullseye on my back, but I kind of didn't realize it at the start. So we'll get into that. I want to refresh some of these things for the old, some of the old videos that I did. That I have a ton of more new subscribers. I'm just trying to refresh them. Mario Mendez has been riding a long time. Michael Candinas has been in here a long time. Pimperson, he comes up with some crazy comments, but he's in here. Thank you, Joe Henry, the Steel Driving Man. I appreciate my community and everything, and I'm trying to be more even tempered and everything like that. We got Dapper the Rapper coming back in for his North American tour. So I appreciate all that. We're gonna refresh some of that. And you get older, and you try to backtrack on stuff. Sad boy Maz. And of course, it's not an exact science. Yeah, man, this was years ago, and then you try to figure out, and sometimes things will just remain a mystery, you know. And on Mob Tube and Soap Opera Tube and all that, like you just never really know the answers. Just like with Gotti, I did that video with about John Gotti Jr. and Fads and what's this and what's that. We will never know concisely things that you could just say are black and white. When it comes to the FBI, the government, the feds, and we will never know that. We, as viewers, as fans, as well as me, we will just never really know. We want to know, yes, that the sky is blue and the grass is green. Well, it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. I sat up there and bashed Mike Franzese. He's lying. He's lying. He's lying. Who cares, JoJo? He's got 80 million views. Well, who cares, JoJo? Oh, he's lying. Oh, Sammy the Bull. No. I had to mature a little off of that. Even with the doughboy over there, Jeff, and all that craziness. That yawner of a show over there, doughboy Jeff. That yawner and his little sidekick, they're Batman and Robin. They're flatlining. At least I'm entertaining, got a little color, have a little personality, and my numbers are reflecting it. Thank you to my community. Because real knows real. See, real thinkers and Christians and compassionate people, real recognizes real. Fluff and insanity with those clowns, you know, whether they bought subscribers and all that. I don't have anything here. Editing, intro, but it works for me. I'll take the long road. Take the long way home. Supertramp, take the long way home. I'm getting there. It's frustrating at times because I should give my community some more flair or fluff with an intro and all that. Some Godfather music like Mike Franzese. Yeah, it's so blasé. It's so it's like Doughboy's probably got the Goodfella pillowcase and the Bronx Tale sheets, and it's just like it's. But hey, they do what they do. They do what they do, and I appreciate that. Boy, I must have walked 5 miles at Six Flags, all over the place. I got in that wave pool just to cool off, man. Just to cool off after that. But it's tough to try to put the microphone in some people's faces and ask them some questions. It's tough. Like, here I am, 60 years old, and I got a unplugged microphone. Hey, listen, hey, Bill, does the Mafia still exist today? Well, no, or what is the Mafia? Well, with this prop, I get a little immature, but I like to have fun. People like it, they like it. If they don't, screw. That's all. So we're going to get into that. The university, Mob University, and what the heck. And in retrospect, I wasted time. I wasted time because it screwed me up. It screwed me up in my trajectory thereafter. It screwed me up. To be such a good-looking newcomer, Dean's List, A's and B's, hundreds on every test, and then getting hypnotized by, the characters, good guys having fun, sometimes easy money, and then that lure, like the devil, just like the devil was deceiving me, it ruined me. It ruined me. Curtis, how's it going? Good morning. Glad to catch you. It's hit or miss, yeah. But hit the notification bell. Then you'll know when I'm coming on. It's Saturday, so it's the morning I do the walks. Thank you, Curtis. Keep up with the nature with maybe a sit down, get a line wet while you stream. Yeah, I hear you. So it ruined me. Everything looks glamorous with the movies and the plots and the money, but it ain't no good. my mother didn't raise a gangster. My mother she raised a smart, educated Christian. And I thought I could balance both of that, sell steel, which I couldn't. The market was dead at that point in time, and then hustle some extra money. No, the business career, academic career fell off because there was no steel sales. So I was dependent on hustling. And even like the first time when I went up and saw the boss Sam and he handed me that $100 bill, that was half of my week's salary. I was like, geez, I got to make more runs up here. Then eventually I started making runs to New York City. And a lot of stories behind that. I'm going to refresh a lot of the stories for the new people that come in and everything, for the new subscribers, because maybe some go back and look at my video library and maybe not, but we'll just refresh them. Sometimes I might remember something or forget something, but we'll just keep riding with me, and you got a little time here or there. I'm not going to try to do those long videos anymore, but we'll do a part 2 to this. Finally going to New York, and then eventually maybe a part 3 when I meet Mike Franzese, and as well as some other guys, because I had my cousins and family there on my father's side. That was still, my mother lived in Western New York. My mother left my father, and my father was still in Brooklyn. So, no, I don't have 20,000 subs right now, Curtis Codwell, but that's good to try to manifest them subs. But we're approaching 1,200 subs, not 20,000. Wishful thinking, but think it into reality. Thank you. You're already playing the Matrix, huh? We'll get back to the Matrix a few videos down, because that's just a head scratcher. That's all right, my friend. That's all right. So I appreciate everybody. Well, we're just gonna keep pumping away. I enjoy. At least I interact with the community. The other channels, you gotta pay. Go to the Patreon. Go do this. Go do that. Well, I've given out 500 videos. I never asked for nothing until after 400 videos. I didn't have a cash app to weigh 400 videos. I didn't put a link to my book. In there. It's in the description if there's anybody that reads, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of book readers. It's 180 pages. It's a memoir. It's a fast read. I'm trying to sell a book or two here. Gas is expensive. Gas is expensive. Oh, well, don't cry and beg, Joe. God is good. Jesus is good. And Jesus will get me there, as well as some super chats and some cash apps. Okay. So there you go. We'll evolve into that and refresh to all the new viewers that here's the true serum. It's not a mob channel because I'm diversifying and it's going to talk about other subjects, but we got to, I did a lot of that. So I owe it to the people to just not, branch off into something else, which I don't know. I'd probably get crickets. So I got a lot of stories about mob wives too. I mean, boy, women. I mean, I not to bash women or anything, but boy, there's no, blame here or there, but everybody's adults. But boy, a lot of women directly or into whatever cause some problems for some guys, man. Which a lot of times it was the guy's fault, but there were stand-up honest guys with their spouses that were they didn't cheat. They didn't cheat. They were honorable. Some were just whore masters. I'd bring them to the strip clubs. They'd do their thing. I wasn't interested in that, like watching a stripper and drew salivate. I mean, I love beautiful, sexy women, but it wasn't my thing. I think it was just also like therapy. They would, we used to go to the racetrack, but I don't know what the heck their motivations were. And of course, some of them did get involved with strippers and things like that. And well, I'll tell some of them too. Let me take a note of that, because that's, using me as an alibi. If you're gonna use somebody for an alibi, you should give them a heads up first. Hey Tom, in case anybody asks you, last Wednesday we were doing this and we were doing that. Give them a heads up on that. Yeah. And I would have to improvise if I was approached by a wife or a girlfriend. I could see it coming, and I would just give generic, general statements. I learned that quick. So, what are you gonna do, folks? Yeah, there's an audio. I think it's on audio book or whatever. I've had 4 sales in 2 years, but the link is in the description. And you could, in my book, you feel the emotionality more, of what I was going through at the time. You could get juice off of movies and stuff like that, but a personal memoir of a person that was right in there, taking on all these characters and all these different situations. It's a unique look. It's a unique insight into that world. So yeah, there you have it. We'll do a part 2. We'll get into my first run, my first major run, the Cannonball Run, and we'll take it from there. And so thank you, folks. Thank you for the like button, and thank you for your view. I don't mean to come on here and beg and stuff like that, but I'm the hardest working YouTuber out there. 400 videos. I didn't even start begging till after 2 years. So help a guy out if you can. If not, just believe in Jesus Christ. Believe that you're the kings and the queens of this world. If you have problems, seek them out. If you need to talk to somebody, seek them out. Ask it. That's being a tough guy. That's being, that's trying to raise your mentality up, your body, soul, mind, and spirit. So you got to make a goal. Stick to your goal. You got to start from scratch, and you'll get there. You will get there. The world is a vampire that wants that blood. But no, you got to put up some spiritual armor. You got to fight. You guys got families, spouses, children. You might be in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. Your whole life is ahead of you. Get it on track now so you can live in abundance and prosperity. But have some faith in something, whether it's a tree, a rock, or anything. Have some faith in somebody, in something. I have faith in God and Jesus, but have faith in something, because I've been spared many times by divine intervention. It's in the book. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Curtis, Michael Candinas, all the Goodwill, Sad Boy Maz, Dapper the Rapper, best name on YouTube, Michael Candinas, and one of my first subscribers, Super Mario Mendez. God bless you all and your family. Stay tuned. We're going to have part 2, get a little into Mike Franzese and the Cannonball Run. All right, folks. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Summer's here. Take advantage of it. I'll catch you all then. God bless.